Good afternoon, you guys. Hello. My name is Sonia, and I am the host of the Bible Study Studio. Welcome to the Bible Study Studio. I joy to come to you in this fashion. And I'm here today to give you the rundown of our reading for today. The review, the rundown, the recap, all the R words, whatever you want to call it. Today, our reading found us in chapter 15 of the book of Samuel. So our reading was in 15 through 28. So this is the saga of David, and it is recorded in the book of Samuel. So let's just begin. In chapter 15, I noticed the key phrase, devote to destruction, was used several times in this chapter. And devote to destruction. So the Lord wanted the city of Amalek to be completely destroyed, but Saul failed to adhere to that command. So the Lord is angry. The Lord is once again angry, and he is angry with Saul. He is angry with Saul for the unauthorized offering, and he is angry with Saul for the failure to destroy the city of Amalek, because they stole some of the plunder. And so when they steal the plunder, then the city's not completely destroyed. So the key phrase, devote to destruction, is used over and over again. And this is where we find that verse that says it's better to obey than to sacrifice. Better to obey than to sacrifice. So the Lord regrets making Saul a king. Chapter 16. Samuel grieves over Saul's rejection. Samuel grieves over Saul's rejection of the Lord's rejection of Saul as king. And the Lord has provided for himself a new king. So enters onto the scene, David. David, the son of Jesse. David, the son of Jesse. David, the youngest son of Jesse. So there's this whole thing about them looking at all the sons, and David being in the field with the sheep, and Jesse calling from him, and then the Lord's like, lets them know that that's the one. That's the one. So, chapter 17. Here we have the well-known battle of David and Goliath. Goliath the Philistine. He is from Philistine. Goliath is a Philistine. He is from Philistine. He's a member of the clan of the Philistines. So, chapter 17. Chapter 18, David and Jonathan become friends. David and Jonathan become friends. Jonathan is one of Saul's sons. Okay? And they become friends. Saul becomes jealous of David because after he won the battle with the Philistine, the women and everybody's going around singing that Saul kills thousands and David kills 10,000s. That's the song that everybody's singing and dancing to, and Saul becomes greatly jealous. Chapter 19, Saul seeks to kill David. Saul seeks to kill David. Chapter 20, and also in chapter 18, David marries Saul's youngest daughter. Saul promises another daughter, but he gives her to someone else, and then David marries Saul's youngest daughter. Chapter 19, Saul seeks to kill David. Chapter 20, David hides from Saul, questioning his guilt. David's wondering, what did I ever do to you? What did I do to you? Chapter 21, I forgot, in chapter 16, David David plays for Saul. David plays the lyre, the harp, or whatever for Saul when the Lord starts to make him just a little crazy. David is the one that comes in and plays the harp, the lyre for Saul. And so Saul does not yet realize who David is until David takes care of Goliath, the Philistine. Okay, then Jonathan and David become friends, and Saul becomes jealous. Then they sing the song about the thousands and the 10,000s, and David marries Saul's youngest daughter, and Saul seeks to kill David in chapter 19. And then in chapter 20, David hides from Saul, questioning his guilt. Like, what did I ever do to you? Why are you trying to kill me? Chapter 21, the priest gives David and company holy bread. David pretends to be insane in order to flee from Achish, the city of Achish. Chapter 22, David hides in a cave because Saul's in pursuit. He hides in the cave of Adullam because Saul is in hot pursuit of David. And Saul has a bunch of conspiracy theories, thinking everybody's out to get him. It's just that everybody's for David because David's the guy that killed Goliath. Saul kills the priest of Nob in chapter 22. In chapter 23, the city of Kelash is saved by David as Saul is still in pursuit. Chapter 24, David cut off the end of Saul's robe and spared his life in a cave. And Saul wasn't really even aware until David's like, hey there, I kind of saved your life from me. I saved your life from me. I could have killed you, and I didn't. Or I could have done away with you, and I didn't. Chapter 25, Samuel dies, and Israel mourns his life. And we are introduced to Nabal and Abigail of Carmel. Nabal and Abigail of Carmel. Now, David and his men are out in the land, and they've been fighting, they've been warring, and they need some refreshing. And Nabal and Abigail are wealthy. They have a whole bunch of sheep and a whole bunch of goats. And so they are equipped to refresh David and company. But when they approach him in regards to the refreshment, he's like, nah, who are you? I don't know who you are. I'm not gonna waste my sheep and my supplies on you. Who are you? Abigail is in wind of this, and she kind of realizes who David is, and she gathers together some supplies, and she takes them to David because, of course, after David's rejected by Nabal, he's like, we going over there and we gonna do the do. You know what's about to happen in the land of Nabal. But thankfully, Abigail, his wife, gathers up some supplies and takes them to David's camp. And she's like, here you go. Like, Nabal's not that smart. He's not that wise. Here's some supplies for you and your men. David is thankful. And then about 10 days later, Nabal dies. And not long after that, David takes Abigail for his wife. Chapter 26. Once again, David spares Saul's life. He comes in close proximity to him, close enough to take his spear and his water jug, but he doesn't do away with him. He allows Saul to continue to live. But they get far away from the camp, and they're like, hey, we were right there by you, and we could have done you in. I could have done you in, but I didn't. And so Saul sends one of his people to go get his spear from David, and he realizes that once again, David has spared his life. Chapter 27, David flees to Ziklag, which is in the Philistine community, because Saul is still in hot pursuit. Now, today we are not looking at chapter 28 because chapter 28 is going to be a little spicy with all of the medium and everything. And so I elected to not look at chapter 28 today. I did read a portion of it, but we will recount chapter 28 tomorrow with all of the other chapters of 1 Samuel as we begin reading in 2 Samuel. So tomorrow we begin our reading in 2 Samuel. I'm not really sure. I know we begin our reading in 2 Samuel. Hold on one second. Let me see where we read through into and all that good stuff. Okay, so tomorrow our reading finds us is 1 Samuel 28:20 through 2 Samuel 12:10. That's right. We are already in the book of 2 Samuel. Thank you for reading with me. I enjoy to come to you in this fashion. I hope and pray the Lord continues to be in the business of blessing you, as I know that you are loved greatly by Him. This is Sonia signing out for the Bible Study Studio. Be blessed in the Lord on this very day. Thank you.